Hello and welcome to the final episode in the series of In Focus, brought to you by the Duncairn Centre for Culture and Arts. Today we're in the area of Belfast known as Sailortown because of its connection to the nearby docks and to the city's rich maritime history. I'm about to meet a young singer-songwriter called Damery, who performs under the stage name Rua Rí. He released his debut EP, Shepherd's Delight, in 2021, and his tender and melodic blend of contemporary folk has been impressing audiences right across the island. He's come all the way from County Cork to meet me, so I better not keep him waiting. Enjoy the show.
Sitting on the wall beside you, 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 sitting on. Well, the rain told a tale the summer never would. Fail without fail to make any good. And in my mind's best kept collection I can make no recollection to the time before the cynic grew. And I sitting on the wall beside you, 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 sitting on. Well, the rain told a tale the summer never could, and without fail I failed to make any good. Carry going couldn't carry all the dirt that couldn't parry all the times before the cynic grew. And I sitting on the wall beside you, 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 sitting on. Well, the rain told a tale the summer never would. Well, the rain told a tale the summer never would. Well, the rain told a tale the summer never would. Well, the rain told a tale the summer never would. Well, the rain told a tale the summer never would. Well, the rain told a tale the summer never would. While the rain told a tale the summer never would. And I failed without fail to make any good. And in my mind's best kept collection I can make no recollection to the time before the cynic grew. And I'm sitting on the wall beside you.
Sean, welcome to In Focus and welcome to Belfast.
Thanks a million. It's good to be back. Yeah.
Pleasure to have you up again.
Yeah.
I have to start with a question about the name Rua Rí. So what does it mean? Where does it come from?
Yeah, so my middle name is Rua Rí, like Sean Rua Rí. And they were kind of between two minds, I think, about what they were going to name me. So I always kind of preferred Rua Rí. And then when I found out at a young age that it meant the red-haired king, I always kind of wanted to take it back, I suppose. So I took it back for the tunes.
Just basically Sean wasn't glamorous enough, so...
No, it wasn't as pretty on paper, like, you know.
And do you pronounce it then as Rua Rí or Rua Rí?
I do Rua Rí. Like I wouldn't be fussy. Like, you know what I mean. But I say Rua Rí because I kind of split it up. It looks nice that way. I think it's just fancy.
Yeah, it's a nice stage name.
Yeah.
Before we get to Rua Rí
Yeah.
and indeed to your music, I wanted to go kind of right back to your childhood. So whereabouts are you from?
I'm from Cobh, that's a town in Cork. It's an island, it's a real touristy spot there. It's kind of built on the history of the Titanic and all that crack. There'll be liners in and stuff, and it's a good spot. I loved it there. I don't live there anymore. I live in Cork City, but I lived there pretty much all my life. Like.
And then tell me about your family. Is it a musical family?
Neither of my parents played, but they're really mad into their music. And my mother had us playing trad from when we were really young. I was playing the whistle when I was 5. I played it for about 9 years, and the fiddle and stuff. And I kind of gave them both up then and went onto the guitar eventually. And then my dad, like he didn't really get us to learn anything, but he was mad into his music. You know, he loves like Tom Waits and the Smiths and like a lot of artists now, Dylan and stuff that I love now. And when I was coming up, I didn't really have much time for them, like, you know, because I was just younger. And my brother was mad into his hip hop, and my sister played trad, and so it was a musical family, like, you know. But there's not too many of us played there, but they're all influences, I think.
And who are some of your favourite artists?
Right now, to be honest, I'm just listening to a load of hip hop and like house, and but I suppose the ones that would kind of have an influence on me, I suppose I love Fionn Regan, Nick Drake, you know, the folk lads, Dylan, obviously, John Martin. Like a lot of Irish people now, I'm loving Fontaine's DC and stuff, you know, so there's good stuff going on.
Yeah, it's quite a mix.
Yeah.
And then from learning kind of, you know, the trad music and then picking up the guitar, how did that then transfer into you writing your own songs?
It took a while, like, because when I picked up the guitar at first, I didn't really sing. I used to sing when I was way younger, but I think my voice broke, and I completely lost it, like, you know. And when I picked up the guitar again, I was about 14, and I was kind of just singing. And I remember when I recorded myself singing, I was about 15 for the first time, and I listened to it back. I was like, I'm gonna have to choose something else now. But I kind of found my voice after a while, and then I started going busking when I was 16. And I didn't really think about writing a tune. I didn't really think it was like even possible. You know, it's just funny when you write one, it doesn't really feel like you did it or something. You know. And I just started writing them when I was 17, slowly, and yeah, I kind of just built up the tunes, and they started kind of taking a bit of shape then. Because I don't know, at the start I was kind of just writing songs, and then I kind of found the songs that I was able to, I suppose, communicate with best. Like, you know, the type of song. It happened to be folk, I think.
Stay for the night, stay for the night, go home tomorrow, go home tomorrow. It's safe in the light, shepherd's delight, go home tomorrow. We'll go home tomorrow. And colors run through a fielded meadow, and people swallow eyes up so the feelings mellow. Salvation Army, but I might need one too. and stay for the night. Stay for the night, go home tomorrow. Go home tomorrow. Engraved in your eye, shepherd's delight. Go home tomorrow. We'll go home tomorrow.
In your songs, they seem quite subtle, quite gentle. I wonder, is there, or what influence kind of Cobh and the tranquility of a place like that had on the music, if any?
Yeah, I have no idea, to be honest, but I know that, like, if you go through the songs, I kind of fairly, I'd be doing well now not to mention the sea in one song. Like, you know, if you look through them, and somebody brought it up to me, I didn't even notice, and I can't get away from it that way. Like, about the tranquility, I think that's just kind of the music I really like, you know, and then I kind of shone through. It suits my voice, I think, or my voice suits it, whatever way you want to put it. But, like, yeah, I don't know where it came from. Maybe it is Cobh.
Yeah, and do you have a...
Cobh wouldn't be an incredibly tranquil place like it wasn't for me, you know. It's lovely down by the water, like, but it's this town like any other when you go up the hill, you know.
With bars and it gets a bit mad.
with cans, yeah. Cans and fields.
A bag of cans, yeah. Can't beat them. Yeah. And is there a good music community around there?
Not so much, like, there's good pubs, like there's really good pubs, and there's good trad in a few of them. But, like, in terms of gigs and stuff, it's nothing like here, you know. There is music, but it's mostly covers and, like, setting up a gig in Cobh. I've played my own stuff in Cobh. It's like on Culture Night now, say there's a night on the I think it's the 21st of September, and that's where it's kind of like arts and like more expression. But normally in the pubs it would just be covers, which is cool. Like, you know, it's just not what I would be doing now at this stage.
I guess people want to get out and have a drink and sing songs.
Exactly, like, you know, I love it. You know, I love it. There's great covers bands in Cobh that, like, two of my friends now, two of their dads are in them. They're called, they were called Dr. Deck and the Side Effects. I think they might have changed the name, but, like, they do the big ones, the Stones and, like, you know, all that. And it's class to go out and have that, like, you know. And if I wouldn't really consider my music that you'd go out and have a drink and enjoy. You know what I mean? It's just kind of more listening. So it's not one of them towns, Cobh, really, I suppose.
John wrote, I've got a bubble in my throat. I doubt it ever went away. And the week come in summer for the air, the sort does wonders to our hair. I know that everything is fine. Another boat is gone, says the ripple, she won't be long. And nobody ever does. The wind swept blood into my veins. It's funny how we are estranged. Remember sitting on the pier. And through education I lost faith. I lost my faith in education. My only faded isn't here. Another boat is gone, says the ripple, she won't be long. And nobody ever does. Another boat is gone, says the ripple, she won't be long. And nobody ever does. A lady sang a song John wrote. I had a bubble in my throat. I doubt it ever went away.
You've been plugging away for a while now, and it's culminated in an EP which was released last year called Shepherd's Delight.
Yeah.
What was the process of writing and recording that?
It was recorded over quite a long time. I mean, the first song I recorded was Shepherd's Delight, and my buddy Cobh, who's living in London now, I asked him, could I go record with him? I had like a little interface to Focusrite, and we just had a condenser mic. And I said, I have this tune, whatever, and I hadn't even finished the words for it, and I was like, the night before, I kind of wrote the little bridge and the bridge bit, and then I was happy. I mean, there's only about 4 lines in the song, like, but yeah, I went over to his house to record that in like half an hour, and then I was like, oh, I might do some more, and I just thought it was going to be like that, you know, all the way through, because that was my only experience with recording. But it turned out to be a lot longer than that, like, and like I did most of it in his bedroom in my caravan at the back, and then with some of my friends from music college, I studied in Stefan Nefa out in their shed. So it was all pretty homemade, just the condenser mic was all we used for any of it. And just sent it off to different people to mix and stuff. And yeah, I'm really happy with that, because I think it does kind of sound like it was recorded in somebody's bedroom, but I think it's still got quality, like, so. If I can bring that forward, I would love to, into the new recordings.
Oh, definitely. There's a real kind of warmth to it and a real subtlety and even a sophistication, which I was surprised actually when I found out just how young you were, because it seemed like such a mature kind of sound, and then even in the lyrics as well.
Yeah, And it was also just a laugh, like, you know, like the last song, River, like, you know, you can, I think it really shines through, like, how much of a laugh we actually had making it, you know. And even the tune before that is a little interlude, and it's just me and the lads, and because I really enjoyed making it, you know what I mean? I wanted to show that, and I want to always enjoy recording, because it can be very tedious, like, but it can be such a laugh as well if you take your time with it, like.
And what gigs have you done then so far?
I was kind of coming into my stride in March 2020, like, you know, I was, because I was turned, I was in Stefan Nefa for the year after I got out of school, so I was 18, 19 then, and I played a few gigs with them. I played one gig in Collins for them, but, you know, a part of the CSN gig, so it wasn't my show. And then I played a few cafe gigs, kind of that winter in, like, there's a cafe called Mayo in Cork. They're class for giving you a shot like that, you know. We just told him, it was my buddy got it going, and he told him, can we have the cafe for the night and play a show? And they said, not a bother, you know, and they just had a bit of wine going. So shout out to Mayo, they're class, they're keeping it real down in Cork. And then, I don't know, then the lockdown came along, and the same fella who got the Mayo thing going, my buddy Luke, he kind of saved us there. Whenever there was a certain amount of people allowed outside, like, he'd organise a gig in, like, a woods, or, like, down in some forest or something, and we had some, like, in fields and things, and we had some incredible, like, by the end of it, there was actually kind of fairly well organised festivals going on in it, like, if you knew about them, you know. So, yeah, that was about it. I played a few of them, and since we've been back, I've played, I think, 2 gigs. I was supposed to have 3 in December. I was up here, up in the Duncairn, and I played out in Ballincollig in Cork. There's a venue called the White Horse. It's a lovely room, actually. And yeah, and then we had another lockdown. Then after that, the pubs started closing at 8. So, but we'll see now. The future's looking all right for gigs.
Well, from going from the cafes and the pop-up gigs in Paris, etc., I know you've been really proactive as well of contacting promoters and events and festivals and all sorts.
Yeah. I mean, I do all my own PR, if you want to call it that. It's just emails, like, you know. When I put out the EP, like, I was onto radios and venues, and I sent a load of emails, like, and I mean, not a lot of return, but that's okay. They don't know me, you know. It's kind of hard to get the foot in the door at the start. And I think I mean, I don't want to be harping on about COVID, because it's just like, it's such a waste of a conversation, I find sometimes. But I do think it kind of hits support slots a lot, because with the capacity thing, people start doing double shows, you know, so they get the first half people in, play their show, and then they leave, and then the second half people. So instead of a support act, you know, there's just 2 of the same artists. So there was a big hit there for support. So, I mean, I can't really blame these venues for not letting me in, because they don't know me. And once things open up, there was just a wave of everybody wants gigs, you know. So we'll see how it comes. I'll take my time with it, like.
The scene, alas, you never see the sun. And though we came in last, it feels as though I've won. We know the fields of glass reflect all that we've done. Traffic rolling past could never stop for fun. Fill your days with pace, evaporated till a summer wasted or a summer standing still. When few are far between, between and far between were few. The only people were the people that I knew. So flip your table, burn the label, do the best you do. Hold on tight for fear you might discover something new.
And in terms of writing your own music, what comes first? Words, melody, music?
Generally it's music, well, guitar, melody, words. But like, sometimes I have a line, like rolled and boned and all things bitter is a song I wrote there. And it was just a line. That line came into my head a long time before the song, and it was rolled and boned and all things bitter, nothing but a babysitter. And I just started laughing when it came into my head, and I just wrote it down. And obviously I had to cut off nothing but a babysitter anyway, definitely. And then I left all things bitter in the name, because I'm not particularly sure what it means, but it popped into my head. And then, so that was one where the words came first. Generally it's like a line and I can work off that, but mostly, yeah, it's pretty straightforward, just guitar. I'm there with my guitar, there's a melody comes and it kind of takes shape, and then the words come into place then.
Well, that in particular is a great line and a great title actually for a song.
Rolling Bones, yeah, I'm pretty happy with it.
And do you have a place for creativity? Have you got like a studio, a music room?
No, in my house at home there was a music room. Like we called it the good room as well. You know, there's kind of white couches and. But I didn't really. I wrote a few tunes in there, but I don't think it matters for me. You know, like it's just when I have my guitar and a bit of space, and so I don't know when it's coming anyway. So wherever I am, that's where it kind of comes along. Now I just play in my bedroom, or sometimes I live in town now in Cork City. And I go down by the river there, down by the skate park, and there's a nice few trees, and you can just sit down when the weather's all right, like, and I can sit on the floor. But yeah, it doesn't matter for songs, I don't think, for me.
Yeah, I think the process of just being at the guitar, ready to catch them when they come.
Yeah, that's it. Like you gotta be. I think it was MF Doom said that. He said, you know, when it comes, you gotta just be there. Like, and I'm starting to believe that more and more, because a lot of the time it doesn't really feel like you're doing it. You know what I mean? When it's good, like, and if you're kind of. You could be plugging away for ages, and then if something comes, then you're there alongside it, like, which is a good feeling, but a rare feeling as well, I think.
Roll I'm rolled and boned and blue.
And that's a wrap for this episode and for this series of In Focus. On behalf of the Duncairn Arts Centre, I'd like to say a huge thank you to all of our featured artists, Luke Howard, Rasha McHugh, Rose Connolly, Sammy Copley, Brendan Loughran and Sean Damery. We hope you've enjoyed hearing their music and conversation as much as we have. Now, before the credits roll with the names of the Duncairn production team, we'd like to say thank you for the invaluable support from our funders, as well as the wider Duncairn staff, without whose assistance and encouragement, none of our creative output would be possible. And last but not least, thank you all for watching. Slán go fóill.
One, two, three, four. I'm down in East Cork with my hands in my pockets. I'm dancing at the disco, I'm dancing with the devil. The trees are in the forest and my eyes are in their sockets. I don't know why they love me, don't know why I'm evil. I don't know what it is that turns the car into a sequel. I'm dancing at the disco, I'm dancing with the devil. The soldier in you told me all the men created equal. I put it in my pocket and I run to Wonderland. Solo weeks walk and I'm waiting on a message. There's no one here can save me, I'm dancing with the devil. The gravy keeps me talking and the gravy keeps me guessing. I'm running low and empty, there's something in the river sends me home and separates the sea. And home separates the sea. Wonderland separates the sea. Doodle-dum.